What's up? This is your host, Non-Fungible TC, Non-Fungible today and Non-Fungible tomorrow. And as we can all see, the crypto market could change within just a day. So right now, if you look at the crypto market, the global crypto market cap is $1.9 trillion, right? Which is a 4.07% increase over the last day. And the total crypto market volume over the last 24 hours is 90.05 billion, which makes a 15.7% increase, right? And you can see that, yesterday, even though we gone through a dump, which is right, during the Easter holiday, maybe there's not a lot of people trading, and that's why the market is more easily, manipulated, right? But now people are back from the holiday, people see the price, Ethereum going below 3,000, people started buying back in, so everything is going up, right? And what we can see is that in terms of the top 10 cryptocurrency, right? Luna is actually the one that's growing the fastest with an 8.65% increase in the last 24 hours, right? And we did talk about Luna exactly the same time 24 hours ago, saying that, hey, actually Luna is the only cryptocurrency that is green, right? So if you bought during the dip, congratulations, but always remember, the market moves so quickly, right? Yesterday, this market just went down here, and then now it's going back up, right? So the market moves very quickly. So it's very important for us to always remember to, take profit at the side. When it goes down, then you can buy, and then you can sell, and then take profit, right? So I was looking at the news today, and I really have no idea why the market is going up. Look at Europe, everything is down. Look at Asia, some are up, some are down. Pre-market, some up, some down. And so actually the US, right, is going to start trading today. So I think definitely, I just have no idea why the general market, because everything is kind of negative if you look at the market, right? European market fall with Russia's next move in Ukrainian focus. And then you can see different type of news that isn't really positive. And you also have one that says Secret Service seizes more than 102 million in crypto assets, right? So usually something like this could be negative, right? People could construe it negatively, right? Oh, crypto is used for malicious purposes, right? But if you click into the article, it talks about how crypto, it makes it easier traceable, right? It's easier to trace how, some malicious actors are using the blockchain, and also there's different ways for secret services to dox these people so that they can arrest them and seize this crypto access, right? So, to be honest, I think, not really a lot of pro-crypto reason why things are going up. But a reason could be because I've been seeing some news saying that the COVID restrictions are slowly being removed in different places. Maybe that could be a reason why people are positive. Could be. So moving on to DeFi, we can see that the total value locked is 213.12 billion. There is a 2.58% change. So as we can see yesterday, right? When the market dumps, people tend to take profit, right? But it's over here, right? When the market dumps, some people tend to not take profit, but start releasing their capital from DeFi, right? They stop staking their tokens. But now when the market goes up, money comes back into the DeFi, right? So that's how usually there's a correlation between DeFi and also the market, right? All of these different type of DeFi platforms protocol have a different type of percentage increase, and it shows that money is going back into DeFi. So I was talking about the runner, which is a Terra Luna, which has an 8.37% increase within 24 hours. And one of the reasons for this could be Terra's algorithmic dollar pledge crypto UST is now the third largest stablecoins, right? So for those of you who do not know Terra is kind of like a blockchain, but basically the algorithmic stablecoin stemming from the Terra Luna network has become the third largest stablecoin token in terms of market capitalization at 17.54 billion, right? So basically this market cap, it has surpassed the market cap of BUSD by more than 67 million, right? So basically what happened is that, for those of you who know USDT, USDC, those are actually, one-to-one backed stable coins. So one USDT is actually $1, right? And according to USDT, each US dollar is being backed by an actual US dollar or, a commercial papers, right? So this is a traditional way of doing things, right? But for Terra, they use a very different way, right? What they do is that, whenever you want to create a UST, right, you have to burn a single dollar USD worth of Terra, right? So in the past, when we see that Terra was moving up so quickly, it basically means that people are actually buying the Terra token and burning them into UST, right? So that's how they keep the prices going up. So Terra is one of so UST is essentially created by burning a single US dollar worth of Terra. The Terra's network's native crypto asset. Other type of decentralized stablecoins project like MakerDAO's DAI leverages on an over-collateralized process to keep the token pegged to the value of USD. So basically what people think is that because this UST is first of all decentralized, right? There is no company that is called USDT that could be audited by the government, right? It's all decentralized and it's all done by burning Terra token. So that's why this is now the third largest stablecoin. Okay, and people maybe think that the risk is lower when there's algorithm involved in it, right? But if we think back like a month or two ago, we do see in the Luna protocol where the Magic issue, right? There was a issue with the DeFi protocol Magic, where funds were stolen and something like that. So, but this is kind of different. This is more of a blockchain rather than just a protocol on a blockchain, right? So, for those of you who do not know, actually Do Kwon, which is who's the founder of Terra, right? What they have been doing in the past is actually buying Bitcoin at certain point of time, which kind of created mini rallies. But then the effect was kind of diminished after he bought a few times. So, just some information about the crypto market, how Terra, quickly rose to the top 8. Because you can actually burn it and to create more UST, and UST is actually a decentralized and algorithmic backed stablecoin. Definitely do more research on algorithmic backed stablecoin because it is quite a interesting concept and not easily understood. So that's it for the crypto market. Let's look at the NFT market, right? So yesterday I was showing you Coinum.io, where I show you different type of a community and what they're buying, right? But then I found out that it does take me a lot of time and there's a lot of repetition when I use that tool. So I want to use NFT Go today, and actually under NFT Go they do have something called whale analytics, right? Whale tracking. So basically what NFT Go do is that they track 1,343 whales, right? So how do you qualify as a whale, right? If you are a whale, so these 1,343 people actually owns more than 5.38 billion, occupying 29.85% of the global market cap of 18.02 billion of NFTs, right? So basically, their whale tracking basically tracks around 30% of the wallets, the people that holds 30% of the NFT market value, right? So these are qualified to be whales. So if you look at the last 24 hours, and then we could see what the whales have been buying. Definitely, whales are buying Moobird. If you do remember that we were talking about the project, but as you can see, there's a slight retracement in the floor price for Moonbird. But whales are buying Moonbird, and whales are actually buying Murakami Flower, which I also talked about yesterday. It's by the contemporary artist Murakami, and therefore has some demand. Interestingly, you see Crypto Toads by Gwamplin and Moobirds, right? And then these floor price had a a nice increase, right? The reason why they're buying this is that actually next week or this week is actually Yuga Labs' first anniversary, right? It is Bored Ape Yacht Club's first anniversary, and this is actually a big news because everyone is speculating that they will start airdropping Bored Ape Yacht Club land for Bored Apes and also Mutant Apes, right? Which also explains why Mutant Ape is actually at number 7 in terms of most whales involved, right? 5 whales bought 13 Mutant Apes, right? So what people were saying is that Bored Ape Mutant Apes will get the center parcel, the center area of the Yuga Labs metaverse, right? But if you want to take part in the other, the other side, right? Exactly the metaverse name. And if you want to buy parcel, what people are speculating is that the projects that were shown in the trailer, the other side, would be the projects that would get whitelist for the Bored Ape Yacht Club, land sale, right? So getting a whitelist for a Bored Ape Yacht Club land sale is actually quite a big thing, right? So people are speculating on this, so that's why they're buying Crypto Toad. crypto toe is relatively cheaper than Moobirds, right? So it's a good entry for people. So that's why 9 whales bought 18 crypto toads. Moobirds 8 whales bought 38 Moobirds, right? So imagine if you get 38 whitelists, 18 whitelists for the Yuga Labs highly anticipated metaverse land drop, right? So that's why these are kind of people are buying this. So if you can spot narratives, if you could think before other people that hey actually Yuga Labs are teasing something in the trailer, and then observing those projects, observing the movement, maybe you could catch the wave. And to be honest, I talked about it as well. When Yuga Labs first released the Other Side trailer, I posted on Twitter saying that check out the other projects that were actually in the trailer, right? Like World of Women, Cool Cats, and also so right now World of Women Galaxy is not really doing quite well, right? It's trading at 1 Ethereum-ish, right? So could that be a play? Well, this is not financial advice, but could that be a play, or the other projects like Cool Cats that was featured in the video, right? So definitely, and also number 5 is actually VFriends Series 2, and the reason for this is that they started the minting yesterday, and definitely Gary V does have influence in the space, and people are minting this, right? Alright, so that's it for the NFT news today, and also the what whales are buying. Now let us go on to daily news today, okay? So for those of you who do not know, under Ethereum there is a foundation called Ethereum Foundation, right? So basically this foundation oversees and fund development on the Ethereum network, right? So what they had did yesterday is that they disclosed the total holdings, right? Which includes a sizable fifth in non-crypto asset, right? So in the past, they didn't really disclose how much money they have or how much they own, but then they did disclose it, yesterday. And then you can actually see that they own 0.297% of the total Ethereum supply, right? And that is around $1.294 billion, right? So they own a majority of Ethereum in the treasury. So using this treasury, they could fund projects and they could, promote the Ethereum blockchain, right? But what is interesting is that actually they do own 0.7% for other type of crypto, and that is already 11 million, right? But we can see that they actually own 18.8%, which is $302 million in non-crypto assets and investments, right? So they own around 19% of asset that is not related to cryptocurrency. And then they did talk about the reasoning behind this, right? So they announced this in the April 2022 report by the foundation, which is the first time that they do this, right? And the reason why they allocated around 19% of the foundation treasury in non-crypto asset is that that amount is meant to provide a greater safety margin in an effort to protect it against a downturn in the crypto market. So the takeaway from this is that if you look at your own portfolio, and if you look at the portfolio by the Ethereum Foundation, right? The Ethereum Foundation definitely knows more than us, right? They have all the inside information. They have, really smart people within the space. They're basically a whale in the industry, right? And if they allocate 20% of their assets into non-crypto related asset, right? Less volatile asset, it kind of shows that they're planning for something, right? Definitely not financial advice, but is it possible that they might forecast an upcoming, recession, like a depression in the economy, right? Because with inflation at all-time high, would our economy go down? Would stocks go down? Would traditional market go down? And if those markets go down, the crypto market would go down even further, right? So for this, I think the biggest learning that we all can have is that when we look at this, and these are kind of like the really smart people in the space, right? And then we look at our own investment portfolio. Crypto, we have to understand NFTs, crypto, very volatile, fluctuates, right? So is it possible that we can learn from this article that maybe we should allocate 20% of our portfolio into non-crypto asset to protect ourselves from potential downfall in the future, right? What if we have a sudden bear market? What if one day these green do not happen so easily, right? So it's always important to start planning. So this is the main takeaway. And actually another news is that, which is really interesting, and it's that the Beanstalk cryptocurrency project, which is basically a DeFi project, was robbed after hacker votes to send themselves 182 million, right? So basically what happened is that this is a flash loan attack. So what happened is that on Sunday, a hacker managed to drain around 182 million of cryptocurrency from the Beanstalk farm, which is a decentralized finance project aimed at balancing the supply and demand of different cryptocurrency assets, right? So what happened is that the attack exploited Beanstalk's majority vote governance system, a core feature of many DeFi protocols. So basically what these DeFi protocols usually do, because they're kind of like a DAO, right? A decentralized autonomous organization. What they do is that they have a type of token which is called governance token, right? So holding these tokens, you can participate in a vote to, you know, pass different type of proposal, right? So what happened is that, you know, this hacker, they decided to go to Aave, okay? Aave, which is a place where also a DeFi platform where you can borrow money, right? The hacker went to Aave to borrow close to $1 billion in cryptocurrency, right? And then use these 1 billion cryptocurrency to exchange for Beans to gain a 76% voting stake in the project, right? With this 67%, sorry, not 70, but 67% voting stake, they use his voting stake to approve a transaction to transfer the assets to the wallet, right? And then the hacker then instantly replayed the flash loan, netting a 80 million profit, right? And the whole entire process took less than 13 seconds. So this is actually a very smart way, you know, of hacking this system, because basically what happened is that, okay, there is a token where you can vote and make decisions, right? The hacker borrowed money to buy a majority of these tokens and then decided to vote to move all of the money of the DeFi protocol into his wallet and then immediately repaid those money. So basically there is no cost in you executing this, and it all happened in 13 seconds, right? So it is a very smart thing, and it also shows that if you are in DeFi, right, these are the hacks that we talk about. These are the hacks and the risks that we talk about when you are in DeFi, right? In DeFi, we talk about impermanent loss, the loss of between the trading pairs of different tokens. We talk about hacks, right? We talk about protocol smart contract failures, right? This is a perfect example of how hacks and, you know, kind of like a social hacking, right, could affect your funds, and you could lose money in these DeFi protocol, even though they might give you very good yields, right? So always be careful and do your research. So another news I want to talk about is Animoca Brands acquired by majority stake in an Aussie digital service agency, right? So basically what happened is Animoca Brand, you know, bought stake in a digital service agency called B Media. And basically B Media, you know, offer different digital advertising strategies and, you know, things like that, right? So the reason why Animoca wants to buy this company is that they want this company to work on the partnership with Australian brands to onboard them to Web3 and also into NFTs, right? So it actually shows that Web3 companies, because they're making so much money and because they have so much investment, is now investing in Web2 companies or traditional companies, and it is a good thing in a sense that it's gonna bring more mass adoption. It's gonna bring more brands into the metaverse and also into NFTs. So this is actually a pretty interesting thing, right? But it would be interesting to see whether that metaverse is gonna be sandbox, right? Whether that metaverse is gonna be all the different type of metaverse on you know, Web3, or whether that metaverse is gonna be Yuga Labs metaverse, because there's a high chance that Yuga Lab is now asking Animoca Brands to help develop their metaverse, right? So very interesting things to see, you know, happening. And now moving on to our next news, I talked about this Activision Blizzard, you know, the company, the game company, doing a survey yesterday, right, about potentially getting into NFTs. So today we have a new article saying that Activision Blizzard boss tries to shut down player speculation after NFT survey, right? So what is interesting is that someone say, hey, you know, Blizzard is pouring interest in NFTs and play to earn games. And then the president of the company came and said, no one is doing NFTs, right? The president of the company that created World of Warcraft came up to say, no one is doing NFTs, right? So this is actually gained a lot of different comments from Web3 and Web2 gamers as well. So interestingly, even though some companies or some headlines might sound bullish in terms of blockchain gaming and Web3, it is always important to keep track of the market and see that hey, actually one tweet can change the whole agenda, right? So that's it about Activision, right? So that's it for today's daily news. In terms of the project I want to talk about today is the Phantom Network, okay? The project PXN, okay? So PXN is actually a project by the team from Nanoverse, right? You can actually see that Ray, who's from Nanoverse, is working on this project. And the reason I want to talk about this project is that, first of all, a team that is pretty much successful, okay? They created a project Nanoverse, and then they sold out the project. Really good at marketing, really nice art, as you can see this trailer, right? Really cool, cyberpunk anime type of project, but it's not easy to get whitelist, right? But they're doing a lot of engagement. You could like and retweet to have a chance to win the whitelist, right? So I want to talk about this project. If you go to the website, pretty interesting website. It shows you some sneak peek of what could potentially come out, but there is it's kind of like a right now is not like, oh, here's a Q&A, here's the FAQ about what our project is, how much it is, okay? But what we can guess is that this is going to be a profile picture project, right? Because Project Nanoverse has issued a blind box type of or metaverse land, as you can say, project, but you're not going to use this metaverse land as your profile picture, right? Same as Proof Collective, right? I do see a parallel here. Proof Collective, the reason why they have Moonbird is that the Proof Collective pass themselves cannot be your profile picture. So this goes the same for Project Nanoverse, right? For those of you who missed Project Nanoverse, this is Project Nano Pass, right? Okay, so what happened is that they sold 5.6k of land that they said would be used for the metaverse. By owning this land, you would have a blind box, right? Every week you'll get a box, and then within that box, maybe you can get an NFT, you'll get whitelist for certain project, you could get maybe a charity donation to certain other people, right? But what I want to tell you is that in Proof Collective's case, when their pass is selling for 30 ETH and stuff like that, 90 ETH, and then they started selling their Moonbird, it created a demand, right? So right now we can see that the Project Nano Pass is at 3.96 ETH. So it shows that the team is doing something correct, because actually in my previous video, I did cover that they were actually partnering with Columbia Record, which is a record company, right? To create an IP for Nano, right? So what I wanted to say is that even though this project is not sharing a lot of information, we could guess that it is going to be a profile picture project, but we do not know if it's going to be 10k or whatever, right? And then if you look at this, right, and then this the Chinese word here, right, or it could be Japanese, it shows that it's marine, right, or navy, right? And then you have astro, support, right? So these are Chinese words, right? 支援部隊, it basically means support group, historical, right? But this basically means warrior, right? Army, and then this basically means the land army, right? So it basically means that these different type of profile pictures have different type of roles, right? And it is kind of military driven, right? So is it possible, because it doesn't really say much about what the project is about, because it is always cryptic, right? It's very interesting cryptic type of stuff here. But is it possible it's gonna be a game? Is it gonna be like a blockchain game, or is it gonna be something like that, right? So Ray is basically the creator of NanoPass as well, right? So Ray is actually here. So they're trying to build a story here, right? Very interesting website. But what I really wanted to say is that if you look at the whole thing, right, the art is pretty cool. It does remind me of League of Legends at Aoi, right? And also they're doing a lot of giveaways, a lot of interaction on the giveaways as well. Whether those are bots or whatever, or giveaways account, doesn't matter, but it just shows that there's a lot of engagement, doing a lot of giveaway with a lot of community, and it shows that they're doing something right in the space, right? Because in order to build a lot of followers in a short period of time, they have 342,000 followers, right? Proof Collective back down only have 100,000 followers, so they must be doing something right? I'm not saying it's gonna pull another Moonbird, but these are all successful factors to show that, hey, there's a chance that this project might work well, right? Also, they partnered with Black Paris as well. So if we look at the post that they share, right? So check out their website, right? Right now, not a lot of info yet, but do check it out if you're interested in this project. But what I want to say is that the anime meta was actually quite successful in the past, right? A lot of people were buying Shinsekai, a lot of people, since Asuki, right? If you look at this, right, Shinsekai actually did something like anime, like comic as well, right? This anime, this comic, right? Same for Muri, right? They also did this. And then this anime, this comic is actually quite high quality, right? So I do think that there is a great potential for this project. If you could get whitelist, this is definitely a very hyped and highly sought after project. So that's why I want to talk about it here, right? And I think in the future, because it shows they have some sneak peek, right? Some secondary utility, they're gonna launch their own marketplace. And as you can see here, there's a PXN token. So I think once you have these NFTs, maybe you can stake them, or they give you tokens that you could use to redeem stuff like a whitelist bot or maybe a physical product, right, within the marketplace. So definitely there is a utility, and I think definitely there's not much I can tell you about the project right now, but I can tell you that this is from a very solid team, and it does remind me of Proof Collective and Moobirds' successful formula. So that's it for today's show. Hope you enjoyed today's update. This is your host, Non-Fungible TC, signing out.